video, this is a live one, folks, partners. Remember your three pillars, you, your idea, and your ability to execute, right? The three pillars are the foundation of your business. Well, if you decide to have a partner, it's a fourth pillar, right? This is a game changer if you're going to start your business. So now you went from basically a tripod to a table. So that each pillar now is equally important. And remember, your partner will affect your other three pillars, your idea, how you're executing. So think about this. If you're going into a partner, all pillars are affected by the partner, and now you've added a fourth. The right partner can be very successful. The wrong partner, dysfunction and failure. Let's think how disappointing this could be. What if you had the right idea, you had the ability to execute, and you were the right person, and your partner screwed up your business? Think about that. Think if you had the three pillars, but you were just for some reason felt like, oh, I want to bring in the fourth pillar, I want to bring in a partner for some reason, and the business failed because of your partner. Very, very common. 80% of businesses fail, 70% of partnerships fail. Starting a business is risky already. Now you're going to roll the dice with someone else, adding more opportunity for failure. You really got to think that through. Why do people have partners? Now you got two risks. You got the business, the three pillars, and now you got the partnership. What happens if you don't get along? Everyone's heard about success stories where partners couldn't work together. Successful businesses, they got broken up because of the partners. You got to really understand, why would you have a partner? Let's look at marriage. 50% of marriages break up. Now think about it. You dated your spouse, you went out and had a good time, you say you dated for 5 years, you decide you love each other, and you got married, and you got a 50% shot that that's going to be blown. So now if you're starting a partnership in business, there's no dating pool, there's no extended courtship. You know, you're going to work 40 to 50 hours a week side by side, high stress environment. I would totally recommend, if you're going to get a partner, that you guys spend at least 60 days together working on the business before you incorporate or do anything further. And then you got to have the courage to make your decision, is that the right partner for me? And vice versa. If you aren't both 100% on the same page, you will find out in 60 days. Before you put your money into it, and before you incorporate, before you do all these other things, spend 60 days together planning out your business, doing your business plan. See if you're compatible. See what you know about each other. Make sure you have complementary skills. If you're doing the exact same thing, then there's no reason to have a partner. So let's think about what are the differences in partners, right? We got two people here that are trying to start a business. They got different personalities, different communication skills. Strategies may not be the same. Value, work ethic. Someone might be a morning person. Someone might be an afternoon person. One may have kids and want to go home and watch them play baseball. One may not have kids and want to work 15 hours a day. Those are differences. Those will start eating at each other, especially if the business is struggling to get going. So problems will occur, and decisions all have final impacts on your business. If your partner's making a decision that's not a great one, it has an impact on your business as a whole. So no wonder 70% of partnerships fail. Why would anyone take on a partner after hearing all this? We hear the following: hey, I got a buddy, and a buddy and I, we're gonna start a business together. You know, we're gonna sell beer or whatever it is. It'll be fun. You know what? If we put our money together, we'll have the funds. I don't have the money. He doesn't have the money. If we go together, we can probably get a loan. We can sign up for things together, right? Neither one of us have a job. And then this one's very, very common, where the entrepreneur thinks they got a good idea, they think they have the three pillars, but they like that security blanket of having someone else with them. It's just a little security blanket. And I can tell you this, the security blanket in 10 years is either going to be wonderful or the worst idea you've ever had. So you have to think that through. What is the end game with a partnership? Maybe one wants to get out in 5 years and one wants to stay for 20. You got to buy each other out. You should realize that starting a business because you're buddies is not valid reasons to start a business. We've learned what the valid reasons are, right? Remember, we learned about your ideas, the niches, and so forth. So those aren't valid reasons, they're motivations. Hey, let's just get together and try to put something together. There's a very few reasons to have a partnership. Let's talk about what the right reasons are to have a partnership. The partnership provides you the ability to achieve something you cannot achieve on your own. That's it. That's the answer. If you can't achieve on your own and you need a partner, then that's when partnership comes into play. 1 + 1 must equal 3. If you can do it on your own, you don't need a partner. You don't need the security blanket. We tell you all the time, use resources. Use resources like Bootcamp. Talk to people, mentors, and so forth. That's different than giving away half your company to someone that you're going to be stuck with for the rest of your business life. So why add 70% risk if you don't need to? Right? There's no reason to add that risk unless you have complementary skills. So did you pass the reason test for starting or having a partner? No. the obvious answer is no. You don't really need a partner unless you have the exact right reasons. And the reason is you can't do it yourself. You cannot get the business going. So the key to success is the fit between you and your partnership. Will it work? That's why you got to test the waters a little bit. That's why I suggest 60 days of working on business plans together. Day after day, 5 days a week, 10 hours a day, you're working with that partner and see how compatible you are. You got to have complementary skills, compatible personality. You got to be able to get along and see the same thing. You got to have effective communication. You can't have one talker or one person that doesn't want to communicate. Shared goals. Where are we going? Where are we going with the business? And then this is really important. Have a mutual understanding of what each other is going to do. What are each other's responsibilities? A lot of times you feel funny about delegating the responsibilities up, but if you have gray area and you're over crossing each other, you're stepping on each other's toes constantly, that's how you're going to go. That's how it's going to go to failure. So make sure you have clear, concise, mutual understanding of what each other is going to do and how you're going to succeed. You got to trust each other's experience. Are you both mature enough? You might have one that's still playing sports and wants to go out drinking after work all the time, and one that's very serious. You got to have defined roles. Again, make sure you know what each other is going to do so you're complementing each other and not combating each other. Personal trust. I trust this person's going to do their job. And then the trust in their abilities. Are they capable? Is the partner capable of doing what you're asking them to do? Remember that. You don't say, oh, we'll learn or we'll figure it out. Make sure people are capable. If you're going to learn and figure it out, you can do it on your own. You don't need that other person. You got to trust each other's decisions. Very, very tough to do because usually when you're an entrepreneur, you have your own vision. And take your ego and throw it out the door. If you're going to have an ego when you have a partnership, it's destined for failure. You want to make sure that you sit there and you get the common good for the company. What's best interest of the company? Always make your decisions on 3 to 5 years. 3 to 5 years down the road, you make all your decisions. And what about the social stability of each other? What if one is, potentially going to get divorced, and how does that affect the partnership? What happens if you have to buy each other out? What if one person says, "Oh, I want to do this for a couple of years. I want to move to somewhere warm." You have a lot of things that you have to consider, outside factors that can affect the stability of your company. If you're 50-50 partners, and one partner gets divorced or decides to do something different, and they want a ton of money and you can't buy them out, you got to dissolve the company. So be very, very honest with yourself when you're evaluating the partnership. We always tell you, be honest with yourself. It is a key skill to be a successful entrepreneur, is to be honest with yourself. Don't chase the dollars. Don't underestimate the risk of the partnership. If you see something, oh, me and my buddy can get this done right away, just think it through. Remember that. Remember, only 30% of partnerships can avoid the failure. 70% are going down. That doesn't mean they're happy either. This is not Hewlett-Packard or whatever. These are people that are just surviving. Partnerships got to be bulletproof. You got to be able to make it through the difficult times. We've talked about that. Reduce the risk, reduce the risk. Let's talk about a partnership that actually worked. Let's go back to 1837, Halloween time, right? A bunch of immigrants coming to the U.S. Economy was crippled, and there was a candlestick maker and an Irish soap maker. An English guy and an Irish guy getting together. They weren't competitors. They both had limited cash and were both in failing businesses. They identified an opportunity to each other. They had similar manufacturing, similar resources. Customers were pretty much the same. They were buying fats and oils together. So they said, hey, listen, let's combine our funds together, which was a total of $7,000, which was probably good money back in 1837. But they bought their resources in bulk. They lowered their cost. They bought better equipment because they could put their resources together. They doubled their sales by cross-selling, selling each other's product to the same customers and so forth. Today, they're known as Procter & Gamble, and we're $228 billion. But you can see how they had complementary skills. That partnership was risky, but it was started for the right reason. They had the right fit. They had a higher chance for success. They had complementary skills. They knew they could help each other. They knew they could put their resources together and get to a successful conclusion. Starting out with a friend who was unemployed or just other reasons are motivations, but not good reasons to start a business. We know Procter & Gamble is a unique story. Now, I've had some experiences with JVs, which are joint ventures, right? I've taken my company, I've tried to do some JVs with other companies. 100% of those have failed, by the way. Just didn't work out. There's greed that gets involved. One partner gets greedy. One partner wants to do something different. I tried to do some product development with other companies. It just never worked out. At least it hasn't worked out for me. And I think I'm a fair person. I try to be fair. I try to always say greed invites competition. But then the partner wanted to take advantage. So I'm 100% failure when it comes to partnerships. That doesn't mean there's not a partner out there that can do well. And when you got the complementary skills, I believe in partnerships, and I believe they can be successful. You just have to make sure you have the right partner with the same vision as you, going in the same place, and you both understand where you're going. Then a partnership's well worth it.